You know what? 2020 has been kind of a kick in the groin to pretty much every person I've ever talked to. Not just globally, because we all know what the problems are globally right now, but it seems like every individual is having the worst year they've had for personal reasons in a long time. I'm not going to bore you with everything, but I live in Portland, Oregon. If you know anything about Portland, Oregon, probably before 2020, all you could think of is voodoo donuts and hipsters and maybe Courtney Love. not the greatest third act, I'm gonna say, but now you have riots that are affecting my city. You have fires, it's like the whole city's burning down, and then air quality. Wow, it's just been that kind of year. So I was trying to film a short film, and then all of a sudden the location almost burnt down because of wildfires. And then for the next 2 weeks, the air quality was horrible because all the smoke from the wildfires sat on the city, and it was the worst rated air quality in the world for 5 days straight. It's just been one of those years. And then while editing that short film, my house caught on fire, and my neighbor's house, the inside of it burnt down, and it was about a foot from catching my house on fire. So yeah, it's been one of those years, but I try to be an optimist. I'm sorry I've been away for a minute. You know, I say that every time, so at this point you guys are like, shut up, I don't care. But today I got something kind of cool for you, and I know what you're going to think. What? Another one of these RGB lights? You know, we've seen this before, but this one has a trick up its sleeve. Oh yes. It's foldable. Let's roll that bumper and get into it. So I had decided I wasn't going to do too many more videos about small video lights because people kept sending them to me. And while I love them, there hasn't been a lot of really new technology. They're all pretty much the same, only just a little brighter, a little dimmer. But when Vitopal contacted me about this light, I saw right away there was something different. This is the Foldable RGB from Vitopal. I think I'm saying that right, Vitopal. And yeah, so this is a little bit bigger box than you would see with most little video lights. Let's take a look inside here. All right, so we have a little hot shoe mount. Ooh, kind of a good ball head. And the light itself with one of these little cotton bags that you know I don't like at all. Why don't I like them? Because they don't protect anything. Oh, and there's an Allen wrench, and I hear you asking, well, what do you need an Allen wrench for? I'll get to that later. Okay, for now I'm going to put the accessories to the side, and let's just take a look at this light. So basically, the Vitopal R20 is actually what it's called, not the Foldable RGB, but the Vitopal R20 is two lights controlled by a single system with this really cool mechanism that I'll get into later. The controls on this light are pretty much the same as the other lights you would see. It's got a USB-C up top, an on-off switch, a mode button, a function toggle, and a brightness toggle. Now, the mode also doubles for the panel button, but I'll get to that in a second. So let's turn this thing on. So again, it looks pretty familiar when you fire up the screen. It's got your CCT mode. It's got your RGB HSI mode and some effects that we all have come to love on these lights. Now, getting back over to the Kelvin mode, you can scroll all the way from 2600 Kelvin all the way up to 12,000 Kelvin. Now, that is a big range. So basically, you can get a really blue look, or you can get way down into the oranges. Now I'm going to turn this down so that way I can point it at the camera a little bit here. Alright, so this is 2%, and let's put it back down to daylight here. Alright, so we're in daylight mode, we're at 2%, and the cool thing is you can get this even dimmer by turning off one of the displays, but let's say that's not the display you wanted to turn off. You wanted to turn that one off. Well, you can do that too. So you can really customize exactly what you want to do with this light. And these things work in every single mode. Now, the thing that gets me the most excited about this light is this really cool hinge. When I first got this, I thought it was just going to flap up and down like this. Nothing special, but still kind of cool because you can put it in different directions. But it actually is much cooler than that, because not only can it flap in like this, but it swivels. So then you can really make a lot of different ways for this light to go. And you can put some on the ceiling if you want. You can have them both go like this. You can take the long way, the tall way, and because one of them has all the controls on it and the other one has all the mounting ports, it really makes it so you can put this in any way you want. I actually used this light recently on a short film, just a 3-minute short I did. A buddy from LA called me up and asked me if I wanted to do a film with him, so I'll post that to the channel here soon. Basically, he filmed some stuff in LA, I filmed some stuff in Portland, and then I edited it all together, and yeah, so it was kind of a group project, something I never tried before. It was a lot of fun, and I liked how it turned out. Anyways, because this light goes in 2 different directions, I was able to get the light wrapped around with only using this one light and not having to depend on 2 different lights that might not match their colors. This one, you know, is going to match colors because it's controlled by 1 unit. Now, before I told you I would let you know what this little Allen wrench does. If you look right here, there's a lock and an unlock. So if you get a place that you want your light to be, let's say it's like that, but you don't want it to move at all, you can actually lock these in place so they won't move, which is another cool idea. They really thought about this. There's even little bumper guards, so that way when you close it, it doesn't clap on the metal too much. I mean, they really thought about everything. The only thing, because I'm a destructive person, is when I have the light like this and I want to turn it straight 90 degrees, because that's not exactly how you're supposed to do it. You do get these little scratches on the ends here, but that's not something that bothers me. But in case you're one of the people that don't like scratches, as a lot of people on my channel have told me, they don't like scratches because I'm a filmmaker. I'm kind of rough with my gear and I take good care of it, but yeah, scratches don't bother me all too much. If they bother you, don't try to turn it like that. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, another cool thing about this bracket is all the wires are connected through the bracket, so it's really cool that they were able to make it go in all these different directions and still have the wires not get cut off or tangled or anything like that. It was a really good product design. It's a 3200 milliamp hour battery, if that's something you're into. I am impatient on battery tests, so I don't do them. It's easy to see approximately how long these lights will last if you just look on their products page. All right, so when comparing these to other lights, I'm not going to compare them to all my lights because if you've seen me do that, I'm just going to compare it to the big dog. And you know what the big dog is if you've seen this channel? The brightest small video RGB light I have, the Falcon Eyes F7. This thing is more expensive than this, so price-wise, you would think this would be brighter. It's bigger than the standard light, but not by much. So when you go by single light, the Falcon Eyes is obviously bigger than one of the single panels on here, but when you stretch them out, the Vitopal is bigger, but not by as much as you would think for 2 panels. Is that going to hurt it with the brightness? Let's take a look and compare it to the Falcon Eyes F7. All right, so with the Falcon Eyes F7, we're going to show that first. It's the 316 lux at daylight and 302 at tungsten, which is really bright for something in this form factor. Now, the first test I wanted to see is how bright one single panel was, and it was 232 lux in daylight and 244 in tungsten. So not as bright as the Falcon Eyes F7, but it got close. But that's only half the story, because when I turned on both lights, it got an incredible 390 lux in daylight and 384 in tungsten. So it's pretty even with daylight and tungsten, but it smoked the Falcon Eyes F7 and at a fraction of the price. I'll tell you more about that later too. Now, as I've mentioned in other videos, you know I like versatility, so I wanted to see how dim I can get this. And you can get it down, I only tested it in tungsten, but in tungsten, when you use one panel, you can get it all the way down to 9.4 lux. And I tested all these tests from about 6 feet away. So that's actually a really good range. 9.3 lux all the way to 384 lux. I think I can find something that'll work for me in that range. Well, I'm not going to bore you with the IRE numbers, probably because I haven't looked at them yet while I'm filming this. Here's a look at the RGB next to the Falcon Eyes F7 compared side by side. It's funny how some lights, the red channel's brighter, some lights the green, and some lights is the blue. I guess it's just whatever you feel is more useful and whatever that light company thinks is more useful at the time. Now that's pretty impressive considering that this one is about $20 more expensive than this one. Now I know what you're asking yourself, well, how much do they cost? Well, the Falcon Eyes F7 costs $139 while the Vitopal R20 is only $119. I know this sounds like a sales plug, but I was pretty impressed that you pretty much get 2 Pocket RGB lights for the price of one. I was expecting it to be closer to $200, and when it wasn't, I was very excited. So yeah, safe to say, I say this almost every video, but technology gets better. This is my new favorite Pocket RGB light. Now, if you're asking, can this fit in your pocket? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's only like an inch in diameter, maybe an inch and a half. Fits right in my pocket very easily. Oh, even the police know. I mean, they can't believe these deals either, I guess. I don't know. If you're thinking about purchasing these lights and you want to help the channel, go ahead and click the Amazon affiliate links down in the bottom. I get a little kickback on that, and it'll help me put out more content in the future. Another cool thing I've found with these lights is sometimes it's hard when you don't have a stand or anything to prop these lights up. This one basically comes equipped to just have it self-propped up any way you want it. You can prop it that way, you can prop it long ways, or it's thick enough that you can just stand it like that, and you got an easy stand wherever you're at. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that button over there. It will not hurt you, I promise, unless Google has infiltrated some weird AI thing that if you click on videos that they don't approve of, it will give you an electric shock. I don't think that's the case, but I will check into it. If you like what I do here or you're interested in filmmaking, I'm going to try to get into more of filmmaking-centric videos along with these videos and along with kind of lifestyle videos. Yeah, if you have anything you want to learn, go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, and just remember, it's not a competition. Let's all help each other out and rise in this business together. I'll see you guys next time.